What's up, guys, and welcome back to All the Things I Love. I'm Lenny Love, and this is All the Things I Love on Lifting Love. I'm sure you guys get the point. I think this is like episode 5. I'm not even going to lie. It's kind of crazy that we're doing it on a weekly basis. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you've been tuning in, if this is your first time, welcome. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. We got a lot of cool stuff coming onto the channel, working on some stuff. This is the weekly solo podcast where I kind of just literally talk about all the things I love, hence the name. So you're going to get to know a little bit more about me. Also, I'm going to do some BTS, so some lifting love stuff, some advice, some motivation, some little bit of everything of what we're doing with lifting love. But most importantly, it's going to be, WWE, sports, entertainment, all different things that I love, literally. All the things I love. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The 2025 Royal Rumble. I will let you know, besides WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble is literally my favorite pay-per-view. I still call them pay-per-views, PLEs of all time. I just love the Royal Rumble. I literally will catch myself going on YouTube or going on Peacock and just watching an entire Rumble. Just pick a year, randomly pick a year, and just watch it. I just think it's such an interesting concept of a match. So anyway, 2025 Royal Rumble was interesting. I'll say interesting because some things that I thought would happen, I didn't expect. And then there was something that happened that I did expect and was kind of like, all right. I mean, let's start with the headway. Charlotte Flair winning the Royal Rumble. I think Charlotte Flair is going to go down. Let me say that again. Charlotte Flair is going to go down as probably, in my opinion, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. I believe she has the most by any woman by far. Don't quote me on that. But God, it could. This reminds me of when Brock came to the Royal Rumble, like, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, and he entered at number 30, and he just like eliminated 12 people or whatever it was, and like Vince just had that thing for him, and I'm kind of starting to feel the same way with Charlotte. She's getting like just shoved down your throats, our throats, and I think Tiffany needs to hold the belt a little longer. Guys, I definitely cannot see Rhea getting the title taken away from her. But to have Tiffy drop it at WrestleMania when she just won it, she possibly whatever I say. In my opinion, she probably had one of the loudest pops in a long time. So one of the greatest SmackDowns of all time with her cash in. I don't see them taking it away from Tiffy, but then again, it's fucking Charlotte Flair. Like, it's so watching it, because up until Charlotte Flair entered, I mean, even the whole match was phenomenal. I thought the Women's Royal Rumble was possibly, in my opinion, one of the better Women's Royal Rumbles that I've watched. It was awesome. I thought it was really cool. Nikki Bella, Trish Stratus, like all these little different surprises. Roxanne Perez, I believe that's her name. If I didn't say that correctly, I do apologize. Breaking the record that was just previously set, I think the year or two prior. I thought the Women's Royal Rumble was great. When I spoke last week, I genuinely thought Io Sky would be the one to win, or I had a thought later. I might have said it on the podcast, but I thought Jade Cargill was going to come back in that number 30 spot. It'll Bianca and Naomi are right next to each other. She's going to look and hit the person that attacked her. I thought that was quite honestly a possibility, or that Becky was going to come back. Had that, whoa. But none of those things happened. We did get the return of Alexa Bliss, but man, Charlotte winning was just not the call. I really thought, like, if Io won, that place would have went bonkers, absolutely crazy. But I hope that they don't just put Charlotte on this rocket ship and just have her win the title from Tiffy. I think Tiffy has a very, very exciting career ahead of her. But Charlotte Flair winning was probably the most boring thing that happened the entire night, especially coming off of such a great Royal Rumble match. The WWE Tag Team Championship match, I'm not going to talk really about it. I thought, you know, it's kind of the WWE Tag Team division has always kind of been for a while now, and now there's a lot of great teams, but the Street Profits are phenomenal, and them turning heel was just chef's kiss. Genuinely, that was probably one of the better tag team heel turns in a long time. So definitely excited to see what comes from that. If they even do anything crazy with that, I hope they do, because the Street Profits are just this incredible tag team, and they honestly deserve the belts put on them. I think they're kind of building this up. I'm thinking it's gonna be Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Los Garza, Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, and there's one other that I can't remember, but they're probably going to do another 6-pack ladder match. I mean, I just assume for WrestleMania, this is kind of what all the build-up's going to be. But the Street Profits turning heel, chef's kiss. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, possibly, in my opinion, one of the best matches Cody's had as a champion. And a lot of props to Kevin Owens. He took some brutal spots in that match. I thought it was quite literally, I mean, honestly, besides WrestleMania 40 and maybe the AJ Styles match, that was possibly, quite frankly, in my opinion, the best Cody Rhodes match as champion. Arguably, but I thought it was a great match. Like I said, a lot of great spots in there. That Alabama slam on the table into the ladder was absolutely insane. Like you couldn't pay me enough money to take that spot. That hurt. I mean, he was folded. Like that was crazy. And then the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match. It was possibly, arguably, in my opinion, one of the greatest matches in Royal Rumble history. So many storylines, so many superstars. Freaking Joe Hendry, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Him showing up was, besides maybe Jay and Cena, one of the loudest pops of the night. Like you love that. The TNA, even with Jordan Grace coming over from TNA. I know she is not a TNA superstar anymore. She just signed with WWE, but it's just incredible. And I think Joe Hendry has an amazing career ahead of him as well. But there was just so many different things that happened. You got the Roman CM Punk Cena face off, and then it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 goes down, and it's Seth freaking Rollins. CM Punk eliminating Seth and Roman adds to the storyline. I think seeing those three in a triple threat at WrestleMania is what we're doing now. Gets down to the top 3. Logan Paul, Jey Uso, John Cena. And I'm not going to lie, after seeing Charlotte, I said last week I thought Sammy and I thought Sammy or Jay. I said Sammy or Jay last week for the sake of their stories made the most sense to win the Royal Rumble. They need that rocket to just get attached to them. When it got down, Logan Paul calling his shot was funny, but when Logan Paul got eliminated, it was Jay and John. I literally in my head was like, and I love John Cena. possibly, arguably, in my opinion, might be one of the biggest John Cena fans. And honestly, if he would have won, I would have went nuts. But in my head, I had this single thought of John Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble. So I was like, that can't happen. I would love to see John Cena win it. It was literally like his second time on television after announcing his retirement tour. So seeing Jey Uso win, it's been a long time since WWE, I don't want to say has done the right thing or had the right person win, but it's been some time. I don't think a championship has not changed hands in a PLE since SummerSlam, which was the World Heavyweight Championship. Things are just not happening. I mean, the next, what's crazy is that in a PLE last time is SummerSlam, but other than that, I mean, they're having the titles change on like smaller shows. It's so weird. Again, like going back to Saturday night's main event, waste of time. Nothing happened. Didn't add anything to the story except, if anything, it could have hurt Jey. But because, like I said last week, because Jey won the Royal Rumble, now that story makes sense. But if they didn't have him win the Royal Rumble, he would have just gotten his ass kicked for nothing. First time in a long time that they did the right thing. Honestly, might be the last time since Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. But Jey Uso's on a rocket right now. I mean, Jey Uso, I haven't seen somebody this over probably since Daniel Bryan in like the 2010, 11, 12, 13 phase when he was, yes. I mean, I was watching Raw when literally everybody came into the ring. So literally have not seen somebody over like that since Daniel Bryan. That's WWE. I'm excited for Elimination Chamber, which is, I think, 3 weeks away. Super excited about that. The road to WrestleMania has officially kicked off. And this might be one of the latest WrestleManias to date. I'm sorry, guys. I'm yawning a lot. I'm recording this at almost 12 o'clock midnight. All right. In other news, this is the first time we're talking about a different sport other than football. We got NBA drama. So my wife gave birth this weekend. So Royal Rumble Saturday. I'm yeeting in the hospital room. I'm literally laying down and I'm like, you okay? You okay? Oh my gosh. You okay? Oh, no. Just me. Oops. Day one. Whatever. So wake up the next morning and, I follow this page called, I think it's called What If. It's called What If NBA or something. And they do all these like different what ifs. Like, hey, like what if LeBron was traded to the Warriors? What if blah, blah, blah. I open my Facebook and I see Luka in a Lakers jersey. And I'm like, oh man, there's literally no way. I'm like, oh, it's just one of those what ifs. No, the Lakers traded Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic. So the Lakers are going to get Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. And then the Mavs are going to get Anthony Davis and Max Christie with a first-round pick. And then the Jazz are going to get 2 second-round picks and Jalen Hood. Come to find out that nobody knew about this. Danny Ainge agreed to the trade without knowing that they were sending Luka to the Lakers. Anthony Davis didn't know. Luka Doncic didn't know. LeBron James didn't know. Apparently, it was just Nico, who is the GM of the Dallas Mavericks, and it was Rob Pelinka, who's the GM of the Los Angeles Lakers. Unbelievable that they got something like this pulled off literally like out of thin air. So that was February 2nd. The trade deadline was obviously a couple days later, but we got a couple different things happening before then. The Spurs got De'Aaron Fox, which, damn, I didn't even know this. Damn, the Kings The Kings made out. They got a 25 first round, 27 first round, 31 first round. Then they got a 25 second round, 20, and then two 28 second rounds. Damn. They got a lot of picks. Then the Hornets just trade swaps. Blah, blah, blah. Trying to find another when the next big one happened. Okay, so then the trade deadline comes. A couple notable ones. I don't think Suns gave away Nurkic to the Hornets. That one was pretty solid. I'm trying to find it. Kevin Porter Jr. goes to the Bucks. That's a pretty big one. Oh my God, Bogdan. The Hawks trade Bogdan whatever his name is, Bogdan Bojanovic, whatever. Damn, they picked up Bones Highland, Terrence Mann, and 3 second-round picks. That's crazy. All right, this is I believe there's 2 more trades. Yeah, this one makes no sense. So the Bucks traded for Kyle Kuzma, and they gave up Chris Middleton. That one made no sense, in my opinion. The Lakers, got rid of some young guys and acquired a big. I think that was one of the things they needed after getting rid of Anthony Davis. De'Aaron Hunter going to the Cavs. And the Cavs gave up 3 second-round picks and 2 pick. Golly. And then just one more big one. Last big one here. The Warriors acquired Jimmy freaking Butler, which is huge. Absolutely huge for them. So here we go. We got, oh, wow, this is a 5-team trade. Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 5 teams. So Jimmy Butler went to the Warriors. The Warriors also got 2 second-round picks, but the Heat received Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and Devon Mitchell, and then a protected first-round pick via the Warriors, which probably ain't going to amount to much. The Jazz got a couple of players, and then 2 second-round picks. The Pistons got 2 players and a second-round pick, and then the Raptors also got 1 player and a second-round pick as well. Damn, I didn't know that Brandon Ingram got traded. Oh, damn, dude. The Raptors are all over the place in this one. Sorry, I got lost in that one. I didn't even know that one. So safe to say, this might have been the craziest NBA free agency trade deadline. This might have been the craziest NBA trade deadline. Again, guys, it's 11:50 at night that I've ever seen. I mean, I believe it's the first time ever that 2 all NBA players got traded for each other. Or 2 all NBA players got traded for each other mid-season. Ever. That's crazy. And, a lot of people are talking bad on both teams. And do I think Anthony Davis is the future? No. Do I think Luka Doncic is going to help the Lakers win right now? No. But I think each player gives their selective team a better chance now and in the future. I don't think, I'm going to say this nicely, when LeBron retires in another couple years, if they would have kept Anthony Davis, I don't think he was the answer. Because he would have been 34. Well, let's say LeBron plays a year or 2. Let's say he plays till he's 42. Anthony Davis would have been 34, 35 by then. I don't think he's the answer. He's not in his prime. He's not the guy in your franchise. So the Mavericks want to win now. Anthony Davis is playing well now. So you know what? Let's bump him up. Boom. Now we got someone who can play right now, is playing really good right now. And in the Lakers, yes, Luka Doncic is quite arguably, quite possibly, in my opinion, one of the greatest players in the NBA right now. Like you can't name 5 better players than Luka Doncic statistically. Maybe, you want to talk defense, okay, but offensively, he is, if not one of the top 3 to 5 offensive players in the league right now. Man's basically unguardable. Just want to say that. So again, going back to what I was saying, I think it gives each team what they need now and what they need in the future. Like the Mavs, to make it work, are going to have to win this year, next year, or the following year, or this trade doesn't make any sense. The Lakers, on the other hand, have a lot more longer term to be like, okay, this maybe was a bad idea for this season, but you know what? 5-10 years down the line, when Luka is 30 years old and they're able to sign a couple other stars after LeBron retires, now it becomes worth something. But hell, I mean, even if, now that I think about it, I think failure for either team would be trading and not making the playoffs. I think straight up, if either the Lakers or the Mavericks didn't make the playoffs this year and just had like a bum season after all this happened, I think that would be a failure. I do not defensively. Yes, I think the Mavericks won this deal. I just don't think that it makes them an automatic shoe-in for championship contenders. And when I say the word championship contenders, I don't mean a team that could make make it to the finals. I mean a team that I would be like, this team can win. I feel that way about OKC. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is unbelievable. I feel that way about the Boston Celtics. I mean, there's the Nuggets. I feel there's a couple teams that I feel that way about, where I'm like, if they're in, like, I'm like, well, betting the house on these. To me personally, the Luka trade didn't make sense. I think I think the Lakers won. I mean, even if Luka only plays another 10 years, Anthony Davis isn't playing another 10. Anthony Davis might not even be playing another 5. I mean, he's also been super injury prone. I mean, they both have been pretty injury prone, but I don't see. Honestly, I think out of all the trades, I like Jimmy Butler going to the Warriors better than I like Luka on the Lakers or Anthony Davis on the Mavs. I think the Lakers long term won the trade deadline, but right now, if we're talking like immediately right now, I think Butler to the Warriors is the best. Butler to the Warriors is the best solution right now as far as a trade. So I think the Warriors did really well, but I think the Lakers were just setting up themselves for what do the next 3 to 5 to 10 years look like, and what could they look like? Signing Luka to a max deal. I believe it's this summer or next summer. I mean, you're talking you have him until he's at least in his prime, and then that'll give him a chance to hopefully sign another supermax, because with them trading him, he lost out on $125 million. Kind of makes me want to vomit saying that. That would be motivation enough for me. I mean, if someone took $120 from me, it'd be motivation enough for me. But yeah. So moving on. Super Bowl 59. So crazy that Kendrick Lamar is performing. Don't think it was the right decision. Obviously, he's super hot right now. But man, Lil Wayne would have went crazy. I think the Super Bowl should implement a way to get people who live or are from that city that they're playing in involved in the Super Bowl performance. Obviously, maybe they're not the headliner, but like all the biggest stars from New Orleans, New York, Atlanta, wherever they are, come out and have some type of participation in the Super Bowl halftime show, in my opinion. Or like they did in LA, have it where like all the best acts are just performing. That's it. Like it was Snoop, Dre, then they brought out Eminem, Kendrick, like all these West Coast guys and Eminem. Eminem's not a West Coast guy, but he was brought in and raised up by West Coast guys. So something like that should happen every year at the Super Bowl. Especially if you're gonna be doing pop or rap or whatever. Like if they ever did like a one a one in Tennessee, it would be like Jelly Roll, Morgan. Like I don't know if Morgan Wallen's from Tennessee, but all these guys who were made and either became successful in Tennessee or like blew up or lived or from Tennessee. Just each town having its own thing. And like, dude, like Lil Wayne. Oh, dude, a Lil Wayne halftime show would go nuts. Would go absolutely. I'm gonna leave that in. Absolutely bonkers. A Lil Wayne show would go nuts. But let's go right back into predictions. You know, I've been doing predictions for the past 2 weeks. I think it's just important. Sorry, I had an itch. I just think it's important for me to reestablish my position on this. And your first ever 3-time back-to-back Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, baby. Let me write this down somewhere. What do we think the score is going to be? I'll write it down on this. I got a number in mind, and you see this right here. I'm only going to mark it once. We're going to go C versus E. Just so you can see right there. C versus E. We're going to do 30-27. I think it's going to be a really close game, but you see this. I'm not touching it. I'll actually circle it so you know. I think that's what the game's going to be. I think a couple keys to the game. You have to get Cameron Kelsey. That was crazy. Travis Kelsey involved. I'm really tired. I'm not going to lie. Just so y'all know, I love y'all, so I'm making this content. Travis Kelsey has to get involved. They absolutely have to dominate the run. Like Isaiah Pacheco, quite literally, in my opinion, has to have one of the best rushing games of his life. Patrick Mahomes, you know, the crazy thing is like Patrick Mahomes doesn't even have to really play well. But the better he plays, obviously, the better their chances are. The biggest thing for Patrick is he just can't turn the ball over. Now, Philly defense is tough, but I really do believe in the Kansas City Chiefs. That's why I'm going to pick them 30-27, and your new back-to-back Lombardi raising Kansas City Chief NFL champions. I just love seeing history being made. You know, I've said it time and time again. I ain't going to bore you with it. So, Kansas City Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. I'm sorry to spoil it if you didn't know. Let's Beast games. So, a couple things. I love it. Like, before I say anything bad about Beast games, I want you to know that I genuinely enjoy it. However, I do have some critiques. First off, if they do a season 2, it needs to be dropped immediately. Waiting week after week is so annoying. Also, I'm just one of those guys who binge watches TV shows or binge watches movies, like whatever. I like when I get into something, I lose interest over time, no matter how good it is. Like, it's so hard for me to get back into shows after like The Night Agent was so hard for me to get back into it. I got lucky. Like, my wife watched it too, but if my wife didn't watch that show with me, I don't know if I would have gotten back into it. I mean, it ended up being a phenomenal second season, but just getting a TV show and then waiting an entire year for it is so hard. Same thing with like Beast Games. It's like you get an episode, waiting an entire week for it is tough. Like just give me everything and hey, I'll watch it in a 2 to 3 day period, 4 day period, over a weekend, whatever. I think that's one thing they need to do. And two, it's phenomenal. Up until the point where they just cry and complain and bitch about a game. Like it's a competition. Like, yes. Have you made friends during this show? Yes. You've made friends. You've built these alliances and you trust these people and you feel like you've connected with these people on a level. But there is $5 million on the line for you and your family. Am I going to be dishonest? Am I going to purposefully be dishonest? Am I purposefully going to do something that's going to not only hurt somebody or make someone feel bad? No. But am I going to complain about it? Absolutely not. Why would I complain about somebody using a strategy to their advantage? If they want to be dishonest, if they don't want to play the game how it should be played, and that's such a loose term because realistically, it's a game, a competition, so there should be deception. There should be trickery and all these different things. And like, even this last episode, I believe it was episode 8 with JC taking $650,000. Like, yeah, like, was it the wrong thing to do? Yeah. But he's justified in doing that because guess what? He had an opportunity, and anybody who had an opportunity to do something and not doing it, you can't blame anybody else because you had the opportunity and you didn't take it. So I don't understand why people get, especially in the show, like they were getting crazy at some points, and not even just episode 8 or 9, but like the entire show. They could have cut out so many segments of people just crying and complaining. I mean, not like physically crying, but just like complaining about like, oh my God, like I thought I trusted you. Bro, there is $5 million on the line. These are random strangers, quite literally, might not ever see again in your life. So stop complaining. You're on a TV show that's probably going to be seen by a portion of the entire world's population, a good portion of the entire world's population. And you're over here whining and crying and complaining about it on TV. It's a game. It is called Beast Games, not Beast Friends, Family, Function. Like, you're not friends and family with these people. Like, yeah, are you going to maybe make some friends in the meantime? Yeah, cool. Like, we could be friends. That's fine. Like, hey, I want the best for you. I truly, at the end of the day, want what's best for everybody here. But if I have an opportunity to do what's best for my real life family, guess what? Those people are going to come first. Like the challenge where they got offered like $1 million. And the prize pool is $1 million. Done. Hitting it. Like, what? I'm sorry, but those people, all 4 of them, and I love Tawana. I think out of all those 4, Tawana was my favorite. All of them are stupid. You get to stay in the game. You win $1 million. Press the button. Press the button. Yeah, is nobody going to like you? Absolutely nobody's going to like you, but who gives a shit? You just want $1 million for yourself and your family. I can get on a high horse. Love Beast Games. Other than that, I just don't like the complaining, and it just drags on. Like, honestly, if they took all the complaining out and the whining and crying and blah, 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 they could have just made it 8 episodes. But it's phenomenal. So 2 things. Need it all. The next season you do. Cut the complaining out. I personally don't care for it. I literally had a fast forward episode 8 or 9. They just kept talking and talking and talking about it. And I don't have time for it. I could really care less, in my opinion. But what's next on here? Dude, the Lifting Love podcast. So we do this weekly. This is all the things I love with Lenny Love. That's me on here on Lifting Love. You get the point. But every week, Wednesday, 8:30 a.m., we drop a podcast called the Lifting Love Podcast. We have a guest on. We speak about life, business, I mean, I can't even like explain. We just, wherever the conversation flows. But the Lifting Love Podcast is a platform for people to tell their stories. Whatever that story is to you, how you got to where you are, where you're going, and why people should buy and do business with you. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, a community leader, and you're looking for a safe space, a free, safe space to come and tell your story, come tell it on the Lifting Love Podcast. We don't charge. It's free of charge. Sit down, have a conversation. We even make some content out of it that we collaborate with you guys. We could collaborate with you guys on and get it posted and hopefully get you guys some more views as well. Not only just on the podcast that drops on our YouTube platform, but on short form content as well. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. What other platform? Twitter. Yeah, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, I guess, and YouTube. But not a lot of people have YouTube. Anyway, like as far as business wise. But yeah, man. So if you're a business and you're looking to just have an open, honest conversation about who you are, why you got into the business you did, man, come sit down on the Lift and Love podcast. After these next 2 weeks, we should be done till April, if I did my math correctly. So weekly, episodic, every single week, you're going to see a bunch of content, a bunch of amazing people that we've interviewed. And honestly, it's just crazy. It's been so much fun to invest in myself and my business, my brand, and just really get consistent. And honestly, the quality is just amazing. I'm so proud of myself and all the stuff that we're able to do. So, definitely excited about that. Last thing I got for you, I know because you've been spending 30-something minutes here with me, and it's late on my end as well. Something I definitely want to talk about real quick. And, I hope this connects with somebody. When I first started, I had a lot of naysayers. I had a lot of people, my whole life really. I was always a bigger guy. Anytime I tried to play sports or do anything, I always got told, you're not going to be good enough, you're not going to be this, you're not going to be that. Always been able to prove people wrong. So when you do something, especially if you ever jump into the entrepreneurial lane or you do something outside of the box that's not the common thread, you're always going to be looked at differently. People are going to doubt you. People are going to cast their negativity towards you. Man, just don't let it stop you. So many people get so caught up in what people think or say, or the reality is that it does not matter what people think. Doesn't matter what people say. People who talk bad about you are just mad that you're making moves. You're creating waves. You're cutting out of that common thread. And people are intimidated by that. So what do? They start talking. They start leaving nasty comments on your content. They leave a bad Google review for no reason other than the fact that they're jealous. So don't let the haters or naysayers or people who doubt you, don't ever let that get to you. Because you're better than that. You're going to keep crushing, and you're going to do amazing things if you just grind and put your face down. And whether people say great things about you or people say awful things about you, you just keep pushing. Hey, that was a great, for my example, that was a great X, Y, and Z podcast episode. Hey, man, thank you. I appreciate that. Still grinding. Hey, you're stupid. Why are you doing that? Oh, thanks. That's awesome. Still grinding. Doesn't matter what people say. But you have to know in your heart, deep down inside, your purpose and why you're doing this. And that's all that matters. Like for me, I'm doing this because I'm trying to create a legacy. And content for me is is an outlet. It's a way for me to express myself because for so long in my life, I've been an outcast. I am a very social person who has social tendencies, and I'm loud and I'm obnoxious, and for some people, they don't like the energy I bring, and that's fine. You know, I'm not everybody's flavor of ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't always like me, and that's okay. And I've learned to accept that because I personally could care less. And I know that sounds egotistical, or that sounds fill in the blank with whatever word you want to put there. But truthfully, I could care less for what somebody says or thinks about me. I know I have the support of my family. I know I have the support of my wife. We just haven't had a newborn, and I got to get shit done for them. And unfortunately, the people who don't pay me and the people who don't invest or add any value to me or my brand or my company, their opinions, their thoughts, the things they say towards me have no value. So just know that no matter how successful you are, you're always going to have people who either doubt you from afar, up close, say bad things about you, whatever the case is. Just let that roll off, man. You're going to be so much better when you get to a point that you do not care what people think. You're going to be so much better off, for better or for worse, whatever they think, say, or are saying to other people. When you get to a point where you do not care, that's the best spot to be in, because people are going to be negative and people are going to be doubtful regardless. So don't ever let it get to you. Have some thick skin, and I promise you, if you just put your head down and you focus on what you're trying to achieve and know that deep down in your heart you have a passion for it, and you're trying to all you're trying to do is bring that to life, that's what's going to be picked up 10 times out of 10 over than what somebody else says. So continue to be you, continue to crush it, and whatever it is that you put your mind to, I promise you that you can achieve it. But until next time, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe here if you haven't done so. But if you're seeing this, I just want you to know that you are awesome. And until next time, this was another episode of All the Things I Love with Lenny Love here on Lifting Love. But you get the point. Most importantly, I'm going to need you to lift love, crush hate. And just like that, we out.